Welcome to Cinema Savants, your home for all your movie and TV news, with Todd Vandenberg, Lee Vowell, and Rob Steele. And coming up in this week's show, not a whole lot really, because it was kind of a slow week for movie news, but there's a ton of trailers to look at. We'll go through all of them? No, we don't have that kind of time, and frankly, neither do you. No one does. There were just too many. We'll look at some of the highlights. But I do want to start with this because it's something I didn't entirely comprehend. They announced the new filmmaker, director, Hilmer, I think is one of the new terms, for the new James Bond movie. His name is Cary Yorhi Fukunaga. And if you don't know him, he directed the first season of True Detective, which I did not see, and the new version of Jane Eyre, which I did not see, or Beasts of No Nation, which I did not see. However, Sin Nombre. Yeah, I didn't see that either. So I know nothing about this guy. I'm not purposefully missing his movies. It's just that there's so much stuff out there to see, and I just haven't gotten around to him yet.
And that is true. I've seen Beasts of No Nation, which is excellent. I mean, when people talk about, oh, there's so much garbage on Netflix, and they have all these original films which are terrible. It's like, they do have some original films, right, which are not the best films ever. But Beasts of No Nation was one of their early in-house productions, and it's a terrific movie. It's awesome. True Detective first season is freaky, strange, very, very good. So I mean, this guy definitely has some writing chops. He also is the screenwriter of the second incarnation of It, the one that everyone has seen. Yes. And I mean, I wasn't exactly overwhelmed by it, but it's well done. It's competent. And again, we're talking about the screenplay for him. So yeah, I can totally see why they went there.
Will he be a better person to do it than Danny Boyle?
I can't say he would be a better person to do it than Danny Boyle, because I was really looking forward.
I was looking forward to that too. I was like,
to a Danny
that should
Boyle.
Be fun. And
yeah,
no.
I mean, yeah, there would have been very interesting sensibilities with Danny Boyle doing it, but we didn't get that.
Oh well.
But at least they didn't just get some hack like Rennie Harlin does. And it's like, no, we don't need a Rennie Harlin version of a James Bond movie. So. Yeah, this is cool. I mean, it's not Danny Boyle, unfortunately, and who knows? Maybe Danny Boyle will come back to the series eventually, because obviously this is not a series that's going to end ever. So there's always another shot for a Danny Boyle James Bond movie when Idris Elba takes over as Bond or whoever. So
even though he keeps saying, "Oh no, I'm not going to do it," and, which to me says, yeah, he's going to pop up at the end of the next one and go, "I'm Bond now," and everyone will go, "Yay!"
He's also the guy who says he didn't know what the MCU meant. So come on, he's lying. It's like,
yeah.
That'd be so cool.
Oh, geez. So let's see what other trailers came out this week. We had Mary Poppins Returns, and my issues with this.
You have issues?
There's really only one issue. It's not that the trailer looks bad. It doesn't. It looks like it should be a Mary Poppins movie. I get that. It's not exactly it's kind of a sequel, I guess, because what Michael and whatever his sister's name was still live in the same house, but they've got their own kids now. Not with each other. At least I hope not. I don't think that's where they went with it.
No, that's not where they went with it.
But Mary Poppins is one of those untouchable movies in my head. Not the Untouchables, but like, you don't remake things like Citizen Kane or Casablanca or the original Star Wars. I know what you mean.
It's
one of those, and it looks like they did, and I'm kind of,
Yeah, to me, it doesn't fit that category, but I totally get what you mean, and it's an individual thing.
Yeah.
So, for you, I mean, there are some movies out there that are probably god-awful to everybody on the planet, except for one person, and that one person would think, oh my God, please don't make Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, because it's, that's an iconic film.
Well, that's what I said at the first place, I thought. Anyway, yeah.
And then they did Revenge of the Killer Tomatoes anyway. That would be interesting if this was Mary Poppins Revenge instead of Mary Poppins Return, so it'd be a different take on it.
She brought killer tomatoes in that bag of holding that she has.
Yeah, directed by Cary Fukunaga. I'm really, really excited for this because, it's an iconic film, but for whatever reason, I'm fine with a remake, and I like the choice of actress is perfect to me. And I like the fact that the tone seems to be shifted more towards the original, where she's not the Julie Andrews all sugary version. She has an edge to it. So we were talking in pre-pro, like our big technical term, that it's kind of like Super Nanny meets Mary Poppins, where she's got the hard edge to her, which is more true to the book. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I'm
when it comes out,
to watch it at some point.
I was going to say, so I'll review it and you won't, but that's fine. But no, I totally get what you mean, because there are some movies that you don't remake Casablanca, even though they actually tried to do that on a TV version. And, there's just things that you don't mess with. And
remake Psycho, even though they have repeatedly, and it doesn't work.
The shot-for-shot version of Psycho with Vince Vaughn is just, it's awful. It's absolutely terrible.
I'll agree.
And it's really strange how, and because excellent actors, obviously it's an excellent script because it's the same damn script. It just does not work. It absolutely doesn't work. It's no pun intended, but it's dead on arrival. Anyway.
No, that's a good pun. We'll keep that one.
Anyway, I'm definitely looking forward to Mary Poppins Returns, largely because of the mad skills of Ms. Emily Blunt, because she's terrific.
She is. How about this, though? There's a movie called My Dinner with Hervé, which, now, I know very little about the story. I know Peter Dinklage is playing Hervé Villachez.
Oh, beautiful.
Who everyone knows Hervé Villachez. De Plane from Fantasy Island and stuff.
Yep. There you go.
And it's about some, a journalist who goes and has dinner with him, and it changes his life or something. I know very little about the plot, because I took a look at the picture of Peter Dinklage in this movie, and it unnerved me a bit, because he doesn't look like Peter Dinklage, which is a good thing, because he's not supposed to. He's supposed to look like Hervé Villachez, except he doesn't look like Hervé Villachez either. He looks like Hank Azaria.
He it's really creepy, but he does.
It took me like half an hour of going through. I'm like, he looks like somebody, and it took me a while. And it was actually the picture of him in the tuxedo, and I went, Birdcage, got it, Hank Azaria.
That's
Is that just me?
No.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't have been my first thought, but once you say it, it's like,
it wasn't my first thought at all. It was but my first thought was that's neither Dinklage nor Villachez.
But absolutely, it's Hank Azaria, which would be interesting if he had played Hervé. That would be really cool.
If they can get Sean Astin to play Samwise Gamgee, you can get Hank Azaria to play Peter Dinklage. Hervé Villachez.
Here's the interesting thing about this. It's gonna be on HBO in about a month.
Yeah.
October 20th is when it appears. And again, here we have a whitewashing backlash, because a lot of people are complaining that apparently Villachez was half Filipino. That obviously he is from a different ethnic origin than Peter Dinklage. That is easily established. Doesn't matter if he's Filipino or whatever. Dinklage addresses it. The funny thing is like it's blah blah blah. He wasn't Filipino. He was French and German and English. It was like, well, okay, well that's obviously not Dinklage anyway. So show me an actor of similar stature to Hervé Villachez who would play the role better than Peter Dinklage, who is one of the best actors and has been for the past 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Go ahead, give me a better actor. And make sure he's maybe half Filipino, and if he's not, that he's French and German, and because we have to have, let's go ahead and go to Ancestry.com or 23andMe and whatever, and, get some genetic profiling going. Make sure that there's a better genetic profile between the actor playing the original person than there is between a person and a mosquito, and cast that person. It's like, stop with this crap. This is ridiculous. You've got one of the best actors in the frickin' world doing this story, and you're going to complain because he didn't have the right parents. It's like, shut up. If this is what you're thinking, you didn't have the right parents because you're a moron, and they should not have bred you.
Wow. That almost leads into the next movie.
Yay.
Death Kiss. I didn't name it. It's a very low-budget Death Wish sequel, kind of. Uncorked Entertainment. Uncorked with no E. It has an apostrophe.
Oh.
They can't afford an E. If you liked Charles Bronson in Death Wish, you may actually like this one. Because even Bronson died, 1980-something?
It's been a while.
It's been some time. But he's in this movie, kinda. It's creepy. There's a Hungarian actor named Robert Kovac. And I'm probably mispronouncing that because my wife is Hungarian and will tell me, no, it's spelled Kovac, but it's pronounced Smith. I'm like, yeah, whatever. That's a language barrier thing that I have an issue with. Kovac. It could be Kovac. It could be Steve. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's Steve. Yeah.
Anyway, if you look at him, you go, holy crap, that is Charles. He looks like Charles Bronson.
Okay, so I'm looking at the poster, and you're telling me that is not Charles Bronson on the poster.
That's not Charles Bronson.
Come on, don't lie to me.
They had to do a voiceover to get that to work, but wow.
He is. That's interesting. That's crazy.
It is. It's this is when we need to have a video podcast where we can go, here's the picture, and have people go, oh, wow, that's creepy, because that's not Charles Bronson.
Yeah, there are lots of photos of him, and come on. It's like, this has got to be an internet hoax, because I'm sorry, that's Charles Bronson. There's one photo of him where he does not look exactly like Charles Bronson, but he does look like
Hervé Villachez?
There's our casting issue right there. Robert Bronzy. Apparently, he goes by Bronzy because he looks so much like Bronson.
He does.
He. Oh my God, that's crazy. I blacked out on the name of the guy, the other actor. Dang, he looks exactly like Bronson in almost every one of these pictures, except for there's another one where he looks like a different actor whose name I can't recall, and by the end of the show, this is really bizarre. Why can't I think of this guy's name?
Hank Azaria.
No, it's not Hank Azaria.
Oh, okay.
That's very strange.
That is. Anyway, so while you're thinking of that, I'll move on.
Thank you.
Let's see, Doctor Who news, of which there is a trailer for the new series that comes out on October 7th, I believe, with our new Doctor, and the whole new series is being shot in a 2-to-1 ratio, and the new trailer to me was kind of Not that it didn't look good. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see this, but it looked like Doctor Who. Duh, that's what it is.
I was going to say, it should look like Doctor Who, right?
So, nothing really jumped out and made me go, I have to see it because of that scene. I looked at it and went, it's Doctor Who. I'm going to go see that.
Totally, because it is Doctor Who. By the way, Mark Wahlberg is the actor whose name I embarrassingly could not recall. Mark Wahlberg. All I could think of was the Funky Bunch, and Mark Wahlberg didn't come to me. It is the third of 14 photos on IMDb where he's wearing a black T-shirt and has long black hair, and he's just staring grimly into the camera, just slightly off camera, and he looks like 75% Bronson, but the other 25% is Marky Mark. It's really, really weird. Wow. But every other photo, he looks exactly like Bronson. This is so strange.
Well, I mean, going from that to something where we don't see it, to me, the big Doctor Who news of the week, and I'm not sure how I didn't know this, and I'm going way off on this one. When they remade DuckTales.
Yes.
See, I told you, just off we go. They remade DuckTales. Former Dr. David Tennant is voicing Scrooge McDuck. I don't know how I missed that, so I'm going to have to go back and find the new DuckTales to go.
I missed that too. That's awesome. That makes me want that. makes me want to at least listen to it, if not watch it.
Right. I'll listen to him and go, ooh, I have the feeling like need to be walking through a library running from Vash to Narada, and there's angels. I better keep my eyes open.
Yeah.
Speaking of angels, there's another trailer for Alita Battle Angel, which is the James Cameron. I did get that right. James Cameron film. Wow. I'm still kind of creeped out by the eyes that the character has, because I know they're trying to go for she has the anime look with the really expressive eyes. I'm like, yeah, but it's a live action and it looks creepy. Whatever.
It does look creepy.
It does. But she also has some really good looking fight scenes in this, and I'm hoping it's not one of those we're showing all the good bits in the trailer things. That second trailer, that fight scene is like, oh my gosh, this looks incredible. I mean, the movie might be hot garbage. I don't think it will be. I think it'll be pretty good. But even if it is, it's going to be worth watching for the fight scenes, because they're going to be referencing those fight scenes in other movies for like a decade. Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Just from the trailer. Let's see what's in the movie.
Exactly. So, yeah, and the eyes are creepy, and I think that's supposed to be there, because I think you are supposed to feel something of a disconnect with the character, I would hope. Well, because to me, that's kind of part of the point of making her eyes that big and keeping it that way.
Still creepy.
Oh, totally.
Well, speaking of creepy, see, lovely segues in this show.
Beautiful.
Halloween has a new trailer, and I like what they did with this one, because this Halloween movie is a direct sequel to the original Halloween movie, which is cool. What they did with the beginning of this trailer was they turned it into it's a true crime like the things you see on TV. 27 years ago, this happened, and the shows that people actually watch. Only they threw the Halloween story. 27 years ago, Mike Myers did this, and it started the thing, and we'll be back to NBC in a few minutes. Mm-hmm. But they made the trailer like that, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. That because if that's the way you're doing the movie, that worked.
I appreciate that they went that direction, but the trailer does absolutely nothing for me. I'm going to go see the movie because I'm excited, because John Carpenter was involved in it. Didn't direct it, but he scored it, which is pretty important. Yeah. And he did have conversations with the director, apparently like daily, for at least quite a long time, if not for during the entire film. But I mean, they would show him footage, and he would have comments about it, and so I'm all in for that. And I love the fact that this is a direct sequel to the first one. So all the rest of it didn't happen. I'm fine with that, because most of it was just rehashing of the first one anyway, which is a terrific movie. It's gotten diluted and devalued as we get every other Halloween movie, and he just goes and kills more people that you don't care about because there's no character development whatsoever, because there doesn't need to be, because they're just cardboard cutouts getting ready to get killed. Yeah. So this is really cool. But that trailer did nothing for me. Didn't get me a tiny bit more interested in it. It actually kind of made me think, I hope there's not too much of this.
Well, I think they did that just for the trailer.
Oh, I know. I'm sure it won't be the movie, but to me, it sold you, but it did not sell me at all. I mean, I like the approach, I like the concept, but they spent so much time in the trailer. You got plenty of time for that in a movie. Yeah, and it could take all of 5 minutes in the movie, and you've absolutely done what you need to do. I wouldn't waste any part of more than like 10 seconds of a trailer, because you got a minute or 2 minutes to sell someone on a movie, and you're showing. To me, this doesn't do a good job.
Okay, well, there we go then. God, what was it? Baby Driver, the movie I'm thinking of, where they said go get Mike Myers masks, and he comes back with lots of Austin Powers.
I believe it was.
Okay. That just ran through my head. I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to try to remember what movie that was. Okay, but Todd is here. He can help. The last trailer we're going to talk about comes from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it's the somewhat long-awaited Captain Marvel movie. And I don't know about you, but I looked at it and went, that's exactly what kind of like the Doctor Who thing. That's exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Yep.
Just give me the movie. I mean, it didn't make me any more or less excited for it. I saw a lot of people going, oh, look, Nick Fury has 2 eyes. I'm like, I've seen Samuel L. Jackson in a lot of other things where he doesn't have an eye patch. Do you not know what's in your wallet? Come on,
Well,
you've seen him with two eyes before.
Now, what was impressive is Samuel L. Jackson looks like he's filming Pulp. Actually, it looks like he's almost
In
pre-Pulp Fiction because he's so young, and it looks really, really good.
It does.
And the same with Phil, Agent Coulson. I mean, the de-aging looks fantastic in this, and
it's nowhere near as rubberized as it was in the X-Men 3.
Yeah, I would assume it would be just as good for the entire movie. So we'll see. I mean, not that should be the big selling point. It's got to work because otherwise it pulls you out of the movie. But I really like the trailer for this, and it's definitely kind of what I've expected for the movie. But the last part is like, okay, she looks totally badass, which she's going to have to be because she is the selling point of how to fix the Thanos situation. And that's not what this movie is about at all, obviously. Yeah. And hopefully it's not. Hopefully people aren't just looking at this as like, yeah, okay, I got to watch this 2 hours to get to the movie that I really want to see. I don't think that'll happen because I think Brie Larson will do a terrific job in this. She's a wonderful actress, and I really like that they chose her for this part. This looks really, really good. To me, this sells the movie. And this is almost a movie. It's kind of like, do you have to do trailers for Marvel movies anymore? Is it really necessary? To keep the fans from going insane on social media, yeah, I suppose it is. But other than that, do they need to be sold at this point? Or don't you just make sure that it has that Marvel logo at the beginning and it's got the music and there's the audience?
I think at this point you can just make a trailer out of, here's the logo and the release date.
Yeah,
you don't need to show anything else.
And I'm glad they did in this case because it looks really good. And it establishes important parts like, oh, this happened a long time ago because look how young those guys look, and the memory issue, which is a big part of the story. So, as in, she ain't got many memories. So we'll go on from there. But it looks really exciting. So
looking forward to it.
Yeah, sucks that it's so far away. Makes me sad. Oh well, until then I got Halloween, which even though I didn't care for the trailer that much, I don't care because the story looks... I will say one thing about the trailer that did make me happy, though, is the character of Laurie Strode. I'm really glad they went that route. She looks like she's ready to take care of business. So Jamie Lee Curtis returns. That's awesome.
You know someone else who's returning to the big screen, whether we want her to or not? Red Sonja, who, I don't know. Bryan Singer has taken over the remaking of Red Sonja.
I have to interrupt you for a moment because I'm evil that way. For some reason, the name Kathy Griffin popped into my mind when you said whether we want her to return to the big screen or not, and I don't think she's ever been on the big screen. If she has been, I'm glad I missed it. It could be worse. Kathy Griffin could be playing Red Sonja. So good. There you go. Go ahead.
That could happen.
No, please, no. Oh my God.
Hope it doesn't.
Jeez.
Kathy Griffin doesn't bother me that much, although she does have her moments where you go, okay, that was funny. Okay, that wasn't, and that wasn't.
That's what bothers me about her. I don't care about her statements, her political statements, although she needs to be cautious about how she says things, just because then you're as bad as the other side. Yeah. But she's just not that damn funny. That's the problem I have with Kathy Griffin. Anyway.
So Bryan Singer doing Red Sonja. Congratulations, you get a round of meh from everybody. Yeah. Charlie's Angels, the remake, had some rather disturbing news. At least I think it's disturbing. Mm-hmm. There's going to be several Bosleys in this movie. You know, fine. If you want to have several Bosleys, that's fine.
More Bosleys than Angels. That's kind of strange, though, isn't it?
I just work here. I don't pretend to understand what's going on. I am curious to know why Patrick Bloody Stewart is going to be a Bosley. I read that and went,
why not?
No, please don't. But, I mean, he's earned the right to do whatever roles he wants to do and have fun with them. I'm not arguing that bit, but really? You want to...
Credit card commercial. Maybe that's what he's going to do. He's going to do a credit card commercial in the middle of the movie. Why aren't they calling it Charlie's Bosleys with all these Bosleys in it?
Bosley's Angels.
Just
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of strange. It's not like, oh, this is a terrible issue, like you said, but it's just, that's interesting. It is kind of strange where you can have a role where you're casting both Patrick Stewart and Elizabeth Banks to play different versions of the same role. That almost makes me want to see it. Although I really don't want to because I don't really care about Charlie's Angels. I didn't care about the TV show and I didn't care about the 2000 remake. or the 2003 follow-up, or God, did they do one in 2011? Please tell me that's not even true. Yeah,
There's
okay.
a third one? I missed that entirely.
Woo. Oh, it was a TV. Did you know there was a TV series on ABC of Charlie's Angels 7 years ago?
No.
Made it for 8 whole shows. So apparently it wasn't completely awful. It was just basically really, really awful. Ooh, it's got a 4.4 out of 10 on IMDb. It was fantastic.
Apparently.
Wow. That's,
The Stargirl TV series that they're doing. Breck Basinger. I don't know which it is. But I looked at her and went, she looks like Kim Basinger. Although, I cannot find any relation between Breck Basinger and Kim Basinger, other than Kim Basinger was the spokesmodel for Breck shampoo.
well played.
And maybe that's... Breck Basinger is actually just a stage name. Her name is Jane Smith. And just went...
That'd be so...
It could be. I don't know.
So disappointing.
It's a thing. How will she do? I have no idea. She did shows on Nickelodeon, which I'm too old for.
She was on The Goldbergs, which was so hideous I watched half of an episode and turned it off. So I don't know if she was any good on that either.
I got a commercial in on that one, and that's as far as I decided to go.
That's which is obviously a big, a major diversion from our usual show. But it really makes me wonder sometimes. It's like, what's wrong with the audience that they watch stuff like this?
I've wondered that myself. I haven't wondered why people watch Michael B. Jordan, though, because he is awesome. And he has been cast as the new lead in a series of films based on Tom Clancy's thriller novels Rainbow Six and Without Remorse. He's going to be playing a character named John Clark, who sounds very bland, but no, he's not a Jack Ryan character who Clancy's also known for. He's an ex-Navy SEAL who became a CIA operations officer, as opposed to Jack Ryan's I just write books, don't put me in the submarine character. So, more action-based. And I think the idea of Michael B. Jordan doing that is cool.
I think the idea of Michael B. Jordan in anything is cool. I like the fact that it will probably enable him to make a lot of money, which is good, because then he can go on and do the kind of projects he wants to do. Like one of those, I think I'll do this small little film, because I'm sure he has some very cool ideas about what to do. And the movies sound like they'll be a lot of fun, because most of those Tom Clancy movies have been very, very good, very entertaining.
Hey, have you tried reading the books, though?
I have read 2 of his books. I can't recall what the second one was. It was Hunt for Red October was the first one I read. And, yeah, they're kind of a plow.
I understand the realism of getting the Russian names in, but if you put in and then he reached for an apple, we would say in English, but in Russian it's and they spell it that way, and you're reading the book going, what the hell does that mean? I don't want to go to Babelfish to translate this 5,000-page book just to get through it. No.
Yeah, they're dense, unnecessarily so, I think. But they're very interesting stories.
They are. The story, it's almost Shakespearean in the way he does it. In the, Christ, I'm going to have to translate this before I get through it kind of way.
But Michael B. Jordan in Rainbow Six movies, plus the fact that the video games are kind of popular. So
that too.
I think that they would have a big audience coming for the people who like Tom Clancy, the people who like the video games, the people like Michael B. Jordan, and then watch the thing will flop and be awful and not make any money.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, this seems like almost the most bulletproof, high-concept movie you could come up with.
A perfect storm of Clancyism. Let's see, we've got 4 stories left, and they're all good news.
Clancy Brown?
What a concept. Tom Clancy Brown? What? Isn't that one of those Wheel of Fortune things? Anyway.
Should be.
We've been talking about the Watchmen TV series that is forthcoming on HBO. And I have some good news about it. I'm still not sure I'm going to watch the whole thing because the concept is kind of wonky in my head.
Wonky.
But it is being, the score, the soundtrack, is being done by Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor. that alone for me, because I'm a big Nine Inch Nails fan, I will happily watch this just to get, I'll turn off the video and just listen to it going, yep, like the music.
Which would be a strange way to watch a series.
That would be a really weird way to watch a TV show.
But you're right, it is a big selling point for a lot of people. And it's certainly not going to turn, I can't imagine it would turn anybody off watching it that would be watching that to begin with. So,
see, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if your favorite form of entertainment is the latest Hallmark schmaltzy crap romance film, then yeah. By the way, did you not think they're doing 37? There will be 37 Hallmark Channel Christmas movies out this season. 37.
That's just in August. And they've already aired them. They're going to be showing them again and again.
Oh my gosh!
My wife has to watch every single one of them.
I got a spare bedroom. You can always,
I've
if you need to escape.
I have a cubby hole.
Oh my lord!
A hole and some headphones.
Anyway, yes.
Disney. 2 big news things out of Disney. 1, Star Wars releases are going to be slowed down. Because they said Solo did not do as well as at the box office as we wanted it to do. So we're going to do Episode 9, finish off the trilogy of trilogies, and then we're going to slow down a bit. Because they've been overdosing us on it.
I think that's a very smart decision, but I don't think that's why Solo underperformed. And again, when we're talking about underperforming, what did it make? Only $450 million or 5? It's not like it didn't. Yeah, exactly. But compared to a universe in which they have a movie that made $2 billion, it underperformed. But I don't think it was Star Wars fatigue that made Solo less than the smash they wanted.
Well, I don't think it helped, but yeah.
I think it was because the script wasn't great. It was good. It was an entertaining movie, but the biggest thing, again, is just like you went back to how we started off. We were talking about movies you don't remake. Well, there are certain characters you shouldn't mess with, and that was the problem with Solo, and that was always going to be the problem with Solo. Has nothing to do with the actor. I thought he was fine as
multiple directors didn't help
as Han Solo, but he wasn't Harrison Ford, and no one's going to be Harrison Ford. No. That's one they should have left alone, because the biggest moment in the movie is the certain character that shows up, and it's just such a small little scene. I mean, to me, that's the biggest moment in the movie, and that's but most of what the internet is talking about is like, oh my gosh, did you see that part? Like, oh, blah blah blah. It's like, really? That's the payoff? I mean, when the payoff is like almost a mid-credit scene, it's like, you got a problem.
Yeah. So, better news out of Disney. Moving over to that billion-dollar making franchise.
Yes.
Yes, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Disney CEO Bob Iger announced this week that once the deal with 20th Century Fox is done, Kevin Feige is taking over the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. Which fans around the planet are going, it's about damn time. Because Feige seems to know what the hell he's doing, as opposed to Fox, who, well, if you've watched their news channel,
sorry,
certifiably clue-free. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So, I think that's spectacular news. I don't even care if they incorporate it into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you want to keep them separate, you know what? Fine, go ahead. Just do them correctly.
Now, the thing about this is, I know, I mean, there's tons of articles about this, but last I read, the European Union hasn't even given their stamp of approval on this takeover. So it seems kind of premature. It's like, well, yeah, he will. I mean, that's kind of like a duh. Of course he would, because who else would you have take it over? I mean, he's the guy who's running Marvel. These are Marvel characters. They're not Marvel
Charles
Studio
Bronson
characters.
Will be taking it over.
That would be great.
With Hank Azaria and Peter Dinklage.
That would be so awesome. So yeah, to me this is kind of like, I mean, it's news, but it's like, hey, you know what else is news? Sun came up this morning. Oh my God, that's shocking. Really, it's great news, like you said.
Quit raining on my good news.
Like you said, it is great news, because Disney has done some kind of odd things in the past, and they could have blown this. So the announcement that this is as official as it can be at this point is good news for sure.
Yes. And last bit of news for the show. I don't know if you went to Google at all on Friday. But
I did. Come on.
Google Doodle.
Did the day end in day? Of course I went to Google.
Well, yeah, probably. If for some reason you didn't see the Google Doodle from Friday, it's still on YouTube, so look it up. They redid the opening credits for Mr. Rogers, and which is not exactly movie news, it's not exactly TV news, but we've talked about Mr. Rogers before and his influence on television and everything, and the two movies that are, well, the one movie that's out about him, the other one that's coming. Very influential person that we like on the show. They redid the credit. I thought it was cool.
Very cool.
So there's something to go watch.
Very cool and very heartwarming, and it's like not even 2 minutes long. It's like amazing. There
was more emotion in what we saw in that than I saw in any of Kristen Stewart's movies. So.
Well played and very true. I agree.
And see, that's a good way to end the show. So, you know what? Go watch the Mr. Rogers Doodle, and then go see a movie and come back on Friday and listen to us review movies like Jurassic World. See, we're going to both talk about that one because both of us saw it. What a concept. So, go see a movie, and we'll see you back here on Friday.
Captain, we're losing power in the warp engines.
I think we should be leaving now.
I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife.
And on that unusually harmonious bombshell, it is time to end.
I am very disappointed!
Man, we have a weird job.
It's shameful, but, it's a living.
And like that, he's gone.
Darn, that's the end.